Welcome to Glocal Voices, the official podcast of the Center for Socially Engaged Theatre at the University of Regina.
Welcome to another episode of Glocal Voices. My name is Taiwo Afolabi from the Center for Socially Engaged Theatre, and we're live and direct at IDIERI 2025 in the University of British Columbia in Vancouver here in Canada. In this episode, I'll be talking to Ruth Slob, and Ruth is going to introduce herself more. Before I get on to Ruth, I just want to give a shout out to everyone that is working behind the scene: Gabriel, Walter, Caleb, and of course Shola, and for all of those that are partnering with us at the center, and of course the festival that this is also part of. So really great opportunity for capturing people's ideas, researchers' perspectives here at IDIERI. So Ruth, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. My name is Ruthana, Ruth, depending on where you live and how you want to pronounce it. I'm an artist, practitioner, researcher. I have a background as a production and stage manager, master in arts education. I'm a life coach, and I now do a PhD in applied theatre here in Canada.
Where in Canada?
At the University of Victoria.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. My alma mater. That's where I did my PhD.
Oh,
And that's also where Lynn, that is in the room with us right now, did her PhD too. So this is great. You also have a state manager behind there. So okay, a lot of connections here. Great. This is fascinating because then it's just got my head spinning a lot of directions to ask you a question. But for the sake of brevity and also to keep things tight, what aspect of your research would you love to share with us today?
Well, I'm a PhD student, so I'm still at the beginning of my process. But I am trying to do research, or I'm wanting to do research into to what extent applied theatre can play a role in bringing more awareness to the interconnectedness between humans and other animals. So I'm bringing people to the non-human through the realm of applied theatre, and especially youth, to be more precise, how they can develop a relational ecological identity. So an identity that's not just about yourself, but in relation to those around you and not just humans.
Interesting question, because you're thinking of the non-Anthropocene rate, which is critical. I know your research is still at the formative stage at the beginning, but what about your experiences? What about those that you think you might draw from the research or into the research as an inlet into the research?
Well, that's a very good question, because I've just had a 3-week artist in residency with a theatre company. I had their attic for 3 weeks, and I was just allowed to explore my questions. And what I really ran into is the literature says that we should represent, portray other animals as true to nature, so to do them justice, and instead of, for example, the wolf in Red Riding Hood, make them into something that they're not. And that's what the literature, the science says. But how can you make that science theatrical and bring it to the stage, literally and figuratively, and make it still interesting? So I'm actually at a point that I think many researchers might recognize, that I'm sitting in a room with all these ideas and all these questions, and I need to refigure some stuff out based on that, because it's intriguing how to bring scientific facts in a theatrical form and engage youth and be true to everybody's nature in that process. So I don't have a very clear answer to your questions at this point.
And I don't think as researchers we have clear answers, just to let you know.
Sure.
We might revisit this, X number of years when you're done. I'm like, do you have the answers? And you're like, no, I don't.
No.
But the last question I'd love to ask you, though, is what are your aspirations? What are you hoping that this process is you're gonna get out of this process, apart from the PhD degree?
No, well, that's actually not my aspiration. It's not the degree, it's actually the journey that I think if I would have to aim for something, it would be for a multicultural, practice-based applied theatre method, it's a mouthful, that can invite youth to develop that relational ecological identity, that can stimulate dialogue between youth or young people and between young people and their diverse communities. And hopefully bring awareness to our role as humans within that bigger system of humans, other animals, nature, to hopefully, of course, this is everybody's aspiration, save the world. No, that's not realistic, but at least a tiny, tiny droplet that can help.
So amazing. Like before, we always say we have to understand that the little is like a little water, right? Little drops. But also a lot of the reality with many indigenous epistems would say that it's each of us contributing into this larger pot that makes the world a better place. Well, wishing you all the best in your research.
Thank you.
A lot of resources, hopefully, to connect it to, so we can connect after this.
That would be great.
In terms of research around humans and animals and all that. Well, I've been talking to Ruth Slob from the University of Victoria, and it's really great to just have a snippet into the bulging research, and I'm hoping that at some point we can reconnect to hear more about how the research is going. I can totally relate to that. Whether you're done with PhD or you're not yet done, your research is always evolving. So thank you for sharing that. Sister Afolabi signing out.
You have been listening to Glocal Voices, the official podcast of the Center for Socially Engaged Theatre at the University of Regina. For more details about the center, visit www.cset.ca.